this session. Okay, so today also we are going to discuss some of the Tableau interview questions and tips and tricks in Tableau. So Tableau interview questions and what is the difference between live and extract? What is the difference between context and traditional filters? Some of the tips and tricks in Tableau and general tips on how to use the Tableau and how to improve the performance of Tableau and how to understand the data at the database level and how to test the data and use extracts. So now let's see some Tableau interview questions. So there are 5 main products in Tableau. So those are Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Online, and Tableau Reader and Tableau Desktop. Okay, so Tableau Desktop, that's something prep. Okay, so Tableau Desktop, it's a core tool for Tableau developers. So we have learned about Tableau Desktop only. All these sessions that we have completed, that's for Tableau Desktop only. And whatever work that we are doing, so that is Tableau Desktop. So Tableau Desktop is a core tool for Tableau developers where we create visualizations to get better insights. Okay, so that is what is Tableau Desktop. So once we prepare everything, we move it to the Tableau server or we publish it to the Tableau server so that everybody can access. Tableau server to host online, to host it to the browser. Okay, so that is about Tableau server, and we also have Tableau online. So Tableau online, it is a hosted version of Tableau server. Okay, so as we discussed, so Tableau server can be in 2 ways. So physical servers will be maintained in our organizations. So these are like CPUs. So these CPUs will be maintained in our organization. So these CPUs will be interconnected. Okay, forming as a one server. Okay, and we will connect to this server using our computers. So we will connect to this server through our computers, through some internal network. Okay, so we can install any type of, so the databases, let's say SQL server, Oracle server, or you can use it like a computer. So in computer we store something, we store our files and all, and we can install whatever we want in our personal computer. This also will work as a computer, but this will have huge data. So this will have some data like 500 TB. So it will have a huge lot of data so that most of the computers can access. So that most of the computers can access this particular data. And so here I can also install Tableau server, and I can also have Tableau desktop also here. Okay, so this server will be maintained by or managed by our organization. Okay, so this is called as physical server. So this server will be existed in your organization, and through internal networking, we will access this server to our computers. So like this, we'll connect. Okay, so this is about physical server. Now let's talk about cloud server. So cloud server, we can access through browser. So this will also be, we can connect to our computers. So through some online networking, we can connect to our computers. Okay, so here also we can install Tableau server, Oracle server, Tableau desktop. Okay, so here also we can install and we can use the cloud server. And this will be maintained by, so clouds will be, can anyone tell me the examples of cloud servers? Yeah, AWS, Azure. So these are some of the cloud servers. So these are maintained by Amazon. AWS is maintained by Amazon. Azure is maintained by Microsoft. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the servers. We need to, organization will buy the space from this cloud. So how much ever space that we need, space in the sense, the ROM, the ROM, how much ever ROM that we need. So we buy that space, and we will use that space to install this Tableau server, Oracle server, and Tableau desktop in that cloud server. And that way we can connect to that cloud server using our computers. So this is, yeah. Correct. Internal networking. Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. So these are the options for Tableau server. Okay, so we have one option. So this is one option where you can connect to on-premises server, and this is other option where you can connect to the cloud server. Okay, now let's talk about Tableau Online. So Tableau Online, will only be cloud based. What? Yeah, Rakib. No, this cloud server, if you see, these are maintained by Amazon and Microsoft, depending on which server, which cloud server you are taking. If you are taking AWS, that will be managed by Amazon. Azure, if you take, that will be managed by Microsoft. This Tableau Online is managed by Tableau software company. Okay, so this is also cloud only. So this is also cloud based. Yeah. So this is also cloud. We can just access the data which Tableau provides. Okay, so there you don't need to install any Tableau server. You don't need to install any Oracle servers. You can directly connect to it. So here you can directly connect to Tableau Online. If you want to publish anything, you can directly publish to Tableau Online once you buy the space from Tableau Online. And you don't need to install any, no need to install any database servers. Yeah. So like in Tableau desktop, if you see, even if I don't have SQL Server in my PC, so even if I don't have SQL Server in my PC, I should be able to connect to SQL Server. I don't have Oracle in my PC, but still I can connect to Oracle database. In the same way, Tableau Online also, even if you don't install anything in your Tableau in that Tableau Online machine, you don't need to install anything. So there you will have connections. So like this, you will have connections. If you provide the credentials and all, so you should be able to connect to any database server. So that is the main difference. So in Tableau server, you will have two options. One is on-premises server and the other is cloud server. In on-premises, you have to install the SQL server. So this all will be the part of infrastructure. So everything will be ready when you go to the organization. So they will have, so infra team will take care of all these installations. So you can directly go and access Tableau server and Tableau desktop. So these will be installed in this physical server and you can access from your computers. Or companies might be using cloud servers like AWS or Azure, and you can you have to, this has to be installed in this cloud server, and from there you can access to your computers. And if you are so if the organization is maintaining Tableau Online, there you don't need to install anything. So Tableau server you don't need to install, or you should not install any DB servers. You can directly connect to any databases, or you can directly publish to the Tableau Online directly. So that is the difference between Tableau server and Tableau Online. And what is Tableau Reader? Can anyone tell me about Tableau Reader? Yeah. So to read, let's say PDF reader if you have. So to read PDF file, so you need to have PDF reader. So if you need any, if you want to read Tableau files, you need to have Tableau reader. But why do we use Tableau reader? We have Tableau desktop to read the files. Why we use Tableau reader is, Tableau reader is a free version. It's a free version. Anybody can install and start using it. Okay, so whoever doesn't have license to see the Tableau desktop, so they can install Tableau Reader just to view the dashboards. So this is a free version. Tableau desktop is a licensed version. The licensed version, and they'll charge $70 per month on a yearly basis. That means you have to pay 70 into $12. So then only you can use it for 1 year. So they will not charge you for 1 month. You have to pay yearly on a yearly basis. So that is, and you have other option. What is the other option that we have? Student license. So if you upload ID card, so you will get a license for 1 year. So that is about Tableau desktop. Tableau reader to file. Let's say I have created this dashboard. Okay, if I want someone to read this dashboard, so they might not have access to Tableau desktop, I will ask them to install Tableau Reader, so that if I share this file to them, so they can view the dashboard. So that is about Tableau desktop and Tableau server, Tableau online, Tableau reader. Any question? Mhm. Yeah, good question. So Tableau provides, so the Power BI can connect to only very less number of data sources. So if you see, it's a Microsoft tool. It can connect to Microsoft SQL Server and some of the flat files it can connect to. It will not allow the other data sources. So if you go to Tableau, so it will allow many number of data sources. It can connect to Oracle, it can connect to MySQL, Google Drive, it can connect to any databases. So that is one. And if you see the uh, look and feel, so look and feel, if you compare with the Power BI, this Tableau look and feel is much better than the other tools. And it has a lot of options on visualization part. So in case of, if you see the data modeling wise also, so here you can drag and drop and you can see the visualizations then and there. So relationship model and all, you can just drag and drop and you can see. But if you go to Power BI, so you might need to write some queries over there. And so data modeling is little bit tough when compared to other tools. So this is very simple. So you can just drag and drop and you can put your conditions here directly, whatever call on what column basis you want to join. So yeah, so there are many options. So not only that, so you can prepare many number of charts, like you can prepare waterfall chart, Sankey chart, and so there are many different varieties of charts that you can prepare with Tableau. And in the upcoming versions, like by end of this year, they are also trying to implement like Chat GPT. They are trying to implement Tableau GPT, where you can ask questions directly to the data. So it will give you images or it will give you the visualizations according to your ask. So every year, if you see the upgradation that they are doing, so in every year they are giving you a lot of options. So when come, and this is an old tool. If you see, it has been started at around 2005. And if you see Power BI, I think it started at around 2015, I think. So it has added a lot of options and it is very easy to use and user friendly. And there is no need of coding knowledge and all. So I think Power BI also they have implemented by viewing all these reporting tools, and they have just replicated what these Tableau guys are doing and all. And it is not having these many features in Power BI. So people are sticking to this. So there are some organizations who are using Power BI, but they are using only this Microsoft SQL Server. It will not allow the other databases. Is that answer your question? I don't think so. It is like a competitor to Tableau, but Tableau has a much market than Power BI. Power BI is just coming up, but Tableau is already existed in the market and it's already in booming. People, I mean, in my organization and all, most of them are using Tableau only. Whatever I heard, it is just a competitor, but not. People are not just removing Tableau and starting Power BI. It's not like that. Whoever starting newly this reporting, maybe they are using Power BI as Power BI is free. They might be starting trial and they might be using Power BI. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk about Tableau prep. So Tableau prep, where we can do ETL operations, so extract, transformation, and load. So it will extract the data and do some transformations like joins, unions, pivot, unpivot, split, removing and renaming fields. So all these transformations can be done by stepwise. Okay, so you can perform in each step, you can perform any of these operations and you can form like a flow. Okay, so earlier we used to do all these ETL operations in Oracle or SQL. Okay, so now we can do these operations in Tableau prep. So they have introduced some 5 years back this Tableau prep. So that to avoid doing ETL operations in databases, so they have implemented Tableau prep. So we can do all the ETL operations in instead of doing it in Oracle and SQL, we can use Tableau prep. So Tableau prep is a different tool altogether. Okay, so this you can use to avoid ETL operations that are done by Oracle or SQL. Okay, so how many ways we use parameters in Tableau? So we can pass parameters to filters. We can pass parameters to calculated fields. And in actions, we can use it to measure swap. So let's see each and every example. So let's see about filters. So let me increase the resolution. Okay, so now I'll take customer name and customer name wise sales I'll prepare. Okay, so customer name I'll put it in the filter. And I want to see top customers. Let's say top 10 customers by sum of sales. Say okay. So here I'm able to see some static value. Okay, so instead of that static value, I'll create a parameter, enter value. I will, so that if I create this parameter, I will allow user to enter this value. So starting from 1 to 100, yeah, say okay. And I will allow user to enter this value. So show this parameter and edit and make it as typing. Okay, so currently I'm able to see top 10. So now I want to see, let's say 12. Okay, so by entering it here, I should be able to see top 10, bottom 10 like that. So if I enter 15, I can see 15. If I enter 5. So here I'm able to pass my values to filter. So that is one option we have seen. And how to pass values to calculation field. So now let's create customer name. So I'll just write a calculation field for top 5 and bottom 5. And I'll just write a calculated field if rank of sum of sales less than equal to 5, then sum of sales, and I will write one more condition, and size minus rank of sum of sales less than 5, then and So this is my top and bottom. So say okay. Okay, so with that calculation, I should be able to see this top values and also this bottom values. Okay, now let's put this calculation in the filter. Say okay. Sorry. Hmm. That value we can give. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just writing a condition saying rank of sum of sales less than or equal to 5, then true, meaning I want to see the first top 5 values. And else if size meaning, so whatever is the size here, so size meaning what are the number of customers that are available. So there are 800 customers. I'm just doing 800 minus 1, so it will not satisfy the condition. 800 minus 2, it will not satisfy the condition. It will satisfy only at this point of time. So the rank of this one will be 800. This is 799, 798, 797, 796. Only these last 3 values will satisfy. So if you see 800 minus 800 will give you 0, which will satisfy this condition. Okay, like that 800 minus 799 will satisfy this one. So till 4 it will till 796. So 800 minus 796 is 4. So 4 is also less than 5. So you'll get all these last values. So rank of this is 800, 799, 798, 796, 795 like that. So if you take 795, it will not consider. So you will get 5, which is not less than 5. 5 is not less than 5. So you will not get the 6th row. Okay, so that is the reason I have written this one. So I want top 5. So that is why I have selected less than or equal to 5. So this is to get the bottom 5. So size minus rank of sum of sales I am doing. So I should get bottom sales. So I put this in the filters and select only true. Say okay. So now you are able to see. Okay, so instead of 5, I'll give parameter here. So the enter value that I have created. So instead of 5, I'm just entering this parameter. So I can use the same parameter, enter value parameter, show parameter, and click on type in. So if I enter here top 6, I can see top 6 and bottom 6 at a time. And if I enter top 10, I can see top 10 and bottom 10 at a time. So that is how I can make use in a calculation field. And now let's see in actions how we can use. Yeah. Yeah, correct. So I mean, for both the conditions, I'm writing true only, right? So this will satisfy, this will be satisfied, and I'll get the true. I'm selecting true. So I'll get top five. So for this is also I'm selecting true. So other than this, it is null, or I can put else else false. Okay. So here I'm selecting only true. I'm not selecting false. So if these two conditions are uh, satisfied, then I'm saying true. Okay, so I can get that. Okay, so that way I can pass the value, and measure swap, sheet selector, and those things we have seen already. So now let's talk about uh, this maximum number of tables. So how many number of tables that we can join? So when I say how many tables we can join, so let's just edit this data source and double click on this. So like this, how many tables you can join? You can keep on joining like this until 32 tables. Okay, so you can join 32 tables like this. You are allowed to join a maximum number of 32 tables. So that's the limit that we have. And in Tableau interview, you might get questions like live and extract. So what is live connection? Yeah. So live connection, which is directly connected to the database. Connected to the database. So whatever changes that happen in database, that will appear in the dashboard. Appear in dashboard. An extract connection. It is a snapshot of data. Sorry. Yeah, it is a snapshot of data. So there are two ways that we can update the data and extract connection. One is manual refresh. Two is scheduling. In scheduling, what all are the other options there? So you can minimum you can schedule for every 15 minutes to uh, every half an hour, every hour, daily, weekly, monthly. You can schedule depending on the requirement. So this is how we'll refresh in the extract connection. So when you compare live and extract connection, which will be faster in performance? Extract will be faster. Extract connection is faster compared to live connection. Yes, let's say every month you can select date as well. Every month 20th, if you want to refresh at 9 a.m. Okay, so every month 9 a.m. it will refresh. It will automatically refresh. Once you schedule it, that I don't have access. That is why I didn't show. Okay, I'll get some screenshots. Let me show you 1 second. Yeah, so this is That is the part of the admin only. So we don't do these things, but to have knowledge is better. So that is not very tough task. So it's very easy. Like in our mobile, we create alarms and all, right? So it looks similar. So you can create a schedule like this. Let's say every 20th I want to schedule. So you can write the name as every 20th. So how do you want to refresh? So full refresh you want to do or incremental refresh you want to do, you can do that. And here you can select frequency. So frequency, yeah, here you can select on which dates you want to do the refresh. If you want to do 3 times a month, and which 3 times you want to select. Let's say, as I told you, 20th, right? You just select 20th, 20, and on that day, what time you want to refresh. So you can select, yeah, so you can select the time as well. So here it is showing you at 11:20. So you can select the time also. In this screenshot, that timing option is not available, but there you can see time as well. Okay, once it is created, so you can see with the name, you will give some name, right? So this name you can see in the schedules. Okay, so all these schedules manually, someone has to create it like that. So 20th every day, 20th every month, it has to refresh. So that is the schedule. So once you publish the dashboard, so you can select this schedule directly. So that particular dashboard will refresh every 20th. So like that, minimum 15 minutes you can create. Minimum 15 minutes to monthly and all you can create. Okay, so does that answer your question, Prashant? Okay. Okay, so basically that is about extract and live connection. So we can connect to a live or extract depending on the requirement. So if you have millions of records in your data, so if you have millions of records, so you should use extract connection. Why? Because in live connection, the performance will be very slow if you are connecting to millions of records. So it's preferable to connect to the extract connection. So why it will be faster when you connect to extract is it will attach, or it will be, so when you do an extract, what happens is it will compress the data and attach that file to Tableau workbook. Okay, so it is trying to get the data within Tableau itself. So that is why it is not taking time. But in case of live connection, so it has to go to SQL Server. So in case of live connection, it has to hit the Tableau server. Sorry, SQL. It has from SQL Server. It has to fetch the data to Tableau. So internally getting the data will be faster comparing to getting the data from other server. So this is SQL Server. So live connection will get the data from SQL Server. So that will be real-time data. So live connection is nothing but real-time data. Real-time data. So every time it is trying to, even if one record is added, so it is try to fetch data from SQL Server. So every time it will hit the SQL Server, so it will take some amount of performance. But in case of extract, so it will be within that particular. So if this is Tableau server. So extract will be there in this particular Tableau server only. So fetching the data within itself will not take that much time compared to live connection. So that is about a difference between live and extract. Sorry, can you repeat your question? So it depends on the requirement. So let's say if you see an example of stock exchange. So you see within seconds the numbers getting changed. You want to see the real-time updates in case of stock exchange, how the Nifty is performing and all, why whether it is going up or down. So you will see the real-time changes there. Yeah, so in such cases, in real time in our organization also, they want to see real time updates. So there are some data related to real time. So for that, we can use our live connection. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. What is the difference between context filter and traditional filter? So context filter will improve the performance. So now let me show you an example of creating a context filter. So I'll take region and I will also take state. I want to see sales. And here I want to see top 5 states, not based on the region. I want to see top 5 states. So let's select state and select top. And here I want to see top 5 and select 5. Okay, so first of all, I will show you the traditional filter. Traditional filter. Okay, so now I'll apply region filter here. And select and show filter. What happens if I unselect this west region? So how many states I can see here? Prashant, how many states I can see if I unselect this west? Yeah, perfect. If I unselect east region, how many states I can see, Divya? Yeah. So basically, so in traditional filter, what happens is it is combining these two filters together, and I'm able to see uh, this particular information. But actually, in state filter, I have selected top 5. So top 5 should not be based on this region. So I'm just selecting top 5. Whatever region I might be selecting, I should be able to see top 5 states. So, but it is combining these two filters and I'm able to see, I mean, these two filters are dependent on each other. That is why when I unselect West region, I'm able to see only 3. But actually, I have to see the top 5 states. Okay, so as these filters are dependent on each other, I'm not able to see the top 5. So now let's duplicate this sheet. So here I will use context filter. Okay, so now I'll make region as a context. So right click on region and click on add to context. Okay. So Rakib, can you tell me now if I unselect this west region, what will happen? How many states I can see? No, in case of this, you will still be able to see top 5 states. West region will be removed, obviously. Why? Because I have unselected that west region. But as I have made this region as a context filter, That means this for these three regions, a table is created. Okay, so what context filter does is, for these three regions which are selected, it will create a temporary table. On top of that, the state filter is getting applied. So in these three regions, what are the top 5 states? So it is finding that information. So region is not dependent on the state filter. So context filter is a independent filter. Context filter is an independent filter. And it will create a auxiliary table. Auxiliary table or temporary table in the backend. Okay, whatever filters that you apply on top of that context filter, it will check only in this temporary table, not the entire data. Let's say if you have 1000 records, okay, let's say in the entire data you have 1000 records, and let's say now I have selected only 3 regions. Let's assume I have selected 700 in context filter. Context filter. A table will be created only for this 700 records. Okay, whatever filters that I apply on top of this, let's say state filter I have applied. So state filter will not look for the 1000 records. So state filter that I'm applying, it is checking in this 700 records. In this 700 records, what are my top 5 states? It is just checking that. So that is the process of context filter. And if you see the previous example, the traditional filter that we have taken. So now let's talk about this traditional filter also. So assume we have 1000 entire data. And in region filter, I have selected 700 records. So here also I have selected these 3 regions. So which is 700 in normal traditional filter. And now state filter also I have applied. State is top 5. Okay, now how it will check is, it will not check in this 700 records. It will check in this 1000. So 2 filters are checking in the 1000 records. So both are dependent on each other. Both are dependent on each other. So that is the reason when you unselect West region, you are able to see only 3 states. Okay, so as it is checking in the entire records, it is not specifically checking only for these 3 regions. So in this top 5, it is not showing you. It is, yeah. Yeah, it is checking in the total records. So when you make this as a context filter, it will check only in these three regions. In these 3 regions, what will be the top 5? It will show you. Let me show you. So I will make it here itself. So in these 3 regions, there will be some states, right? So in that 3 regions only, what will be the top 5? It will show you. Yeah. Even if you select one region, in central, there will be a lot of states. In that lot of states, central part, yeah, it will show only top 5. But if you don't, yeah. So that is the main difference between traditional and context filter. Okay, so now we'll see the difference between sets and groups. So set is a combination of measure and dimension, and it is a subset of data. So how do we create that? So let's say customer name, sales. So if I want to create a set, let's create a set and I want to select top 10. Say okay. So if I put it in the filter, I should be able to see the top 10. So this is how I can create. So group is nothing but create group. So here I need to manually select. So this is not dynamic. So group is not dynamic. Yeah. So set is a dynamic. Set is a dynamic and group is not dynamic. You have to select manually. Okay. So why I call set as a dynamic is, so if you go to this customer name set. Okay. So currently these are my top 5 customers. Okay. When you go to the future, let's say if you are in July, so the same customers might have made some purchases. Let's say this Seth Vernon doesn't made any purchases, and let's say this Thomas had made a purchase of 2 lakhs. Okay, so this person will become top 1 customer. So this person might not be in the list of 10, list of top 10. Okay, so the customer names will be changed automatically. Here, why? Because here the condition that we are taking not based on the names of the customers, it is based on the sum of sales. So the condition that we are taking is based on the sum of sales. So that way, the names are not static. So the names might change dynamically. And if you go to the groups, create a group. Let's say if I create a group for these people, dummy group, let's say. Okay, so this will be across, it will be same. So even if you change the data, even if you do anything, okay, that will be same. Dummy group is here. Okay, even if the values are changing, even if the names are increasing, it doesn't matter how the data is. So dummy group will contain only these 4 customers. Okay, so this is static, so it won't change. In case of customers, so the customer names will change dynamically if the data changes. So that way set is a dynamic one. So that's the main difference. Set is dynamic and groups are not dynamic. And groups, the definition of groups is simplifies large number of dimension members by combining them into higher level categories. So if you see an example for region and state, so you have these many states. So these many states, instead of showing these many states, sometimes you can create groups like region. Okay, some of the region you can make it as central, some of the regions you can make it as east. If you see the states in India also, there are some northern states, there are some southern states. If you see Bangalore, Chennai, uh, Hyderabad, all these cities will come under south side. If you see Mumbai, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi and all, those all comes for. So in region wise, you can do the bifurcation like this belongs to north and this belongs to south and all. So that is how you can make the higher level categories. Okay, so flow of the interview introduction. So you can introduce in an interview like, so as a Tableau developers, you can mention that uh, your roles and responsibilities like gathering the requirements from the clients and helping them understand their data by creating the data model. So the first part is data modeling. Okay, so you might need to do joins, unions, merging the data, doing the operations like uh, joins, unions, the list we have discussed earlier. Yeah, this list. Okay, so this is the part of ETL operations. So if so in most of the organizations you will have DB developers separately, and reporting team. Reporting team, they might be using any tools like Tableau or Power BI or any other tools they might be using. So there will be reporting team. And yeah, so they will be able to give you this DB tables ready, and then you can connect to Tableau desktop. So once you connect to Tableau desktop, you will get the requirement in two ways. One is they might be creating some visualizations already, some visualizations in Excel or PowerPoint, they might be creating. Okay, so you have to replicate what they have done in the Excel or PowerPoint or in any other tool. You have to replicate. So they will make a BRD, which is business requirement document. With that, you need to start making the dashboard. So other way is they will just give you the data and tell the requirements to find out what is the sales by category for Alabama state. Okay, they will give you questions like this. What is the find out top 10 customers, top and bottom 10 customers using sales or profit, and provide filters, provide region filter, customer or state filter, like this. So they might give you questions. So in the BRD document, they will mention everything, what fields to be used, what filters to be used, what parameters to be created, everything they will mention in the document. So once you prepare that, you will move to the development. Okay, once that is done, you will publish it in the development. Okay, you will test it in development and move it to UAT. So if you have some 1,000 users, you select some selective 5 users will be selected, 5 or 10 users. So they will test it in UAT, which is user acceptance test. Okay, which is user acceptance test. So they will check with the BRD whether we have completed the all the requirements or not. So BRD, which is business requirement document. So they will follow the document and check whether they meet all the requirements or not. Once they think that everything is done, they will move to they will give the UAT sign off. Once this is done, we can move to the production, where we will give it the access to 1,000 users or to the entire organization. Okay, we have couple of other slides also. So yeah, let's connect tomorrow as well to complete these slides. Okay, any other questions that you have from today's session? Prashant, Divya, Rakib, Aryan. Okay, so let's, yeah, Divya. Yeah, so there is an option. So let's go here. Okay, so instead of giving like this, so usually for Tableau server, you will give your internal organization links. For Tableau Online, so you will have this Tableau Online link. Which you already got one error, right? So this is a paid service. Okay, so let me just end. Sorry. Yeah. So this is one example, one classic example for connecting to Tableau Online. In the same way, AWS and Azure also, they will give you their own browser link. So you can just log into that browser and you can connect to that servers, Tableau server, or to the databases and all. You can connect to that. Okay, once in AWS or Azure, once you install Tableau server and Tableau, all these database servers and all, so you can access through link only. So here you need to provide that link. If I want to connect to Tableau Cloud, Tableau Online, so I have provided this Tableau link. So like that only, if you want to connect to Azure or AWS servers, so your organization will provide you that link, AWS link or Azure link, they will provide you. So they will also give you the credentials, the username, password. So once you connect, it will ask for username and password, then you can connect to that particular server. Is that clear? Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Aryan Krishna, are you joining for the first time or is it your first class? Okay, thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow.